That is okay. 2, Kalonde, in other words, go and vote. Perfect. Any candidate who is urging his supporters to go and vote on polling day, I give you 100%. Perfect. That's what elections are about. Let every registered voter go to the polling station you are supposed to vote from and cast your vote. Kakume, because that's where the challenge now comes in. Some people are saying, when you finish voting, don't go away. Remain there. We must protect our vote. Remain there. You must remain there. You must protect our vote. Then after that, kabanje, in other words, demand for your vote. Now, that's where the challenge comes in. Because according to the law, because they are saying you cannot tell people to go away, because they have got to remain to protect their votes. We don't trust what will happen at the polling station. But we have said the polling station has people who are designated and recognized in law to be present throughout, and those are the agents of the candidates. And each candidate is entitled to 2 agents per polling station. And Section 35 of the Presidential Elections Act says a candidate may be present in person or through his or her representative or polling agent at each polling station. Listen to this. For the purposes of safeguarding the interests of the candidate with regard to the polling process. For the presence of the agent is for purposes of safeguarding the interests of the candidate. So, you know, this is the vote protector, the agent. Because he has said his or her presence is for purposes of safeguarding the interests of the candidate with regard to the polling process at a polling station. Now, you have 8 presidential candidates. Each one is entitled to 2. How many are those? 16. You have 10 or 15 parliamentary candidates. And because presidential and parliamentary elections are taking place the same day. 15 times 2, those are already 30. Plus 16, you have 46 vote protectors inside the polling station. Because these ones are permitted to be inside the polling stations throughout. But for you who is a voter, who has cast your vote, and you are not an agent, although the law says you can stand 20 meters away from the polling station, and that's what they are saying. How can you refuse people to be at the polling station when the law says they should be there? Granted, the law says you should be there. But what is your role after you have cast your vote? What is your role? Now, some of their leaders are misleading them to say, you are the ones who are going to protect our vote. Be there so that you protect our vote. Be there. But the law has said the known vote protectors are the agents who will be allowed inside the polling station right from the time the polling station opens, throughout voting and throughout counting. Those are the vote protectors. So, if you are Kakume, it is not every voter who protects the votes of the candidate they have voted for. No, it is the agents of the candidates who, in the confines of the law, are the vote protectors for their candidates. Then Kabanje, then Kabanje means demand for it.
If it has been rigged.
Now, the law has said, after polling has ended, counting has been conducted by the presiding officer in the presence of the agents of the candidates. The presiding officer shall record on the declaration of results form the results of that polling station, what each candidate has scored. And the agents shall put their signatures on that reform to confirm this what has happened. And then the presiding officer shall give a copy of the declaration of results form to the agents of each candidate. So who is Kukabanja? The candidate's agents. Because the candidate's agents are the ones who are entitled to get a copy of the DR form. Not you people who are standing 20 meters away. No, they don't give that DR form to the to over your 100 or 500 voters of candidate X. We are going to be here and to Kabanje. Tetuja kuva wanu tuino Kabanja. The DR form is being given to the agents, not to you. So please, as far as kukanonya, mukanonya, you can look for the votes. As far as kukalonda, you can go and vote. As far as kukakuma is concerned, if you are not an appointed agent of a candidate, it's not your work to kukuma or protect the vote. It is the agents of the candidacy. Okukabanja, it is not for you kukabanja. It is the agents again who will get this DR form and take it to their candidate and tell him or her, this is what we have scored at this polling station.
Justice,
so,
in the previous elections, we witnessed cases where some of the agents with DR forms were arrested on their way to the tallying centers and so on. So maybe this is where they base their decision from.
No, but first of all, arresting an agent of a candidate who is recognized in law is wrong, and we condemn it. It's wrong, unless that agent has been found to be committing an offense. But if not, he or she is deployed at a polling station legally and in line with the law. Therefore, nobody has the right to arrest an agent of a candidate who is leaving the polling station or at a polling station. But sadly, that form, we also, the DR form is also sent to the tally center. And a candidate, incidentally, a candidate is also entitled to have his or her agents at a tally center. Other people, they are agents at a polling station. They are agents at a tally center. So that these agents can witness how the results are being brought in, how the returning officer is opening that tamper-proof envelope where the DR form is slotted by the presiding officer to establish, is it open or not? Is the seal broken or not? And mind you, when the seal of that tamper-proof envelope is broken, you can never reseal it. So the agents at the polling station or observers will be there to see or to witness how the tallying process is being undertaken. You get me? And therefore, there is insufficient safeguards in our law to assure the candidates that, look, you have enough protection of your votes at the polling station. You have enough protection of the results that are being tallied at the tally center. All these things are there. Because you see, Daniel, if you tell 400 supporters of voters to remain at the polling station from morning to beyond 4 p.m. when the count takes place, how are you going to ensure these people remain orderly? Mind you, these are supporters of different candidates, presidential candidates. Are they going to keep quiet the whole day? Like we sit in the churches and wait for the priest to come, stand up, we stand. Let's sing this hymn, then you sing. It has ended, muture, and then you sit. You expect that kind of order to take place at a polling station where people are there from morning, you don't know what some of them are even eating or drinking. Then they start arguing among themselves. They don't tubakubiye. This time to abaheza, to mazireho. This time we are going to see. If you try to steal our elections, then before you know it, there is a scuffle, there is a commotion, there is the argument, there is a fighting, and then they disrupt the polling station. And we saw that in 2021. Some polling stations we could not declare the results because people started fighting at the polling station. They destroyed the effects at the polling station. No results would be declared. We saw this in Kawempe North the other day. So that's why we are saying, to avoid all these possible unfortunate episodes taking place between the supporters who are remaining there. Moreover, their role there is nothing. They are not playing any role apart from casting the vote. That is their role. It has ended. The people, the actual people who are vote protectors are the agents who are the polling station inside. The people who witness the counting are the agents. The people who will witness the recording of the results on the DR form by the presiding officer and confirm indeed what the presiding officer is writing on the DR form is what we counted my candidate received are the agents. For you are 20 meters away there. They are not even taking part. So that's why we say to avoid these unfortunate episodes which can happen between these people who are seated there for so many hours, drinking all sorts of things, to avoid disruption, to avoid commotion, it would be better, we advise you, go back home. When the time for counting comes, come back. But even then, when you come back to witness counting, 20 meters away, you don't come and stand inside the polling station because you are not part of the counting process.
So the advice is voluntarily, because if someone comes to attend 20 meters away, is right.
Yes, legally, yes.
Legally right.
Yes.
So how about if there is a crowd there?
Yeah, but that's and you know, let me tell you, these are real life examples. I was talking to one voter. He's a senior citizen. He told me in their area, I think Buziga, when he was going to the polling station, he found some youth along the road who were intimidating people. They see you, they perceive you to be voting for a certain candidate and not their candidate. Then they start making utterances to intimidate you, to scare you. You get me? Another one told me in a polling station towards around Luzira there, okay? He got information that, will you go to the polling station? What is there? There is a group of younger people who support a certain party. They are just causing commotion. They are intimidating voters when they see. Do you know what the man did? He says he armed himself with a hammer and put it in his jacket and said, if they dare touch me, I will die with some of them. Now, we don't want that. So, you know what brings that about? Because people are being told, don't go away, remain there. And then they conceive the notion that this person is not supporting our candidate. They start yelling at you, making threatening words and so on. So we said, for goodness sake, do we want stability? Do we want peace? Do we want tranquility on polling day? Do you want the process to go on smoothly? Don't create a scene. And some of these polling stations, especially in Kampala, they are in very squeezed areas. You find a place like this one. Even this one, this room is very big. This studio is very big. That's a polling station. Now, on the veranda of shops, by the roadside. Now, you tell people to stand 20 meters away, 400 people, 500 people, then other people are coming in. They might even stand on the road. Before you notice, they block the road because that's where they are standing. And some of our vulnerable voters, you know, who are scared of chaos and commotion or the possibility of chaos and commotion, they may be put off and say, this is Corona. No, I'm not going to go. So we want, just as you exercised your right and you voted, why don't you give room to others to come and vote? Okay. What are you fearing? Why are you worried? Your agents appointed by your candidate are there to safeguard the interests of your candidate.
All right. Okay, we are finalizing with this interesting conversation with Justice Simon Byabakama, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Justice, as we finalize, I want to quote the President's statement yesterday.
Yes.
And this is in regards to vote rigging that he claims happened in 2021. He says in 2021 elections, the opposition printed 1 million fake ballot papers from Nkrumah Road, imported 1.7 million fake ballots from Dubai, cheated with 2.7 million votes in Kampala. Now, my question is, you are the referee at the moment. How did you allow fake ballot papers to be in use?
We will not allow them because the fake ballot paper is fake. But you see, let me tell you, Daniel, you know, a general election is taking place the same day across the entire country. In 2021, we had over 34,000 polling stations. Now we are going to have 50,739 polling stations for 2026. Unlike a by-election, where the commissioners and the chairman and other senior officers of the commission can be deployed in that constituency or electoral area during a by-election, in a general election, we are not there. The chairman and the commissioners are at the National Tally Center. The returning officer is at the Tally Center. So the people in charge of those processes, as far as this is concerned, are our presiding officers and the other polling officials, maybe the sub-county party supervisors. I have heard that some people, goons or wrong people, they invade the polling station, they cause commotion, and then throw ballot stuff. We were in Rukunjiri during a by-election. Imagine a by-election where we were, myself and my commissioners. Someone went to a polling station, grabbed the lawful ballot papers we had printed, critiqued them, and dumped them or stuffed them into the ballot box in a by-election. I went there myself to that polling station, and indeed I witnessed the stuffed ballot papers inside. You get me? So there are people with bad hearts, bad intentions, okay, who may come to cause, who may come with ill intentions to try and maybe stuff strange or unknown ballot papers inside the box. Now, so the president, you know, the president is privy to all sorts of, he has various sources of information, for me, which I'm not privy to. Therefore, that's why this 2026, we have said, now let's get medicine for this. This biometric machine we are going to use this time. One, we'll make sure every voter is biometrically identified, either with the fingerprint or the face. Two, we'll make sure each ballot paper is scanned before it is given to a voter. Now, if some people come with their other ballot papers and stuff them in the ballot box, when it comes to counting, this machine is going to sort them out and say these ones did not go through that process. Or assuming someone who comes and grabs these ballot papers, the genuine ones, from presiding officer, critiques them, stuffs them into the box, without them being scanned and given to a voter. When it comes to the process of counting, before counting takes place, those ballot papers will be singled out as not having been genuinely issued or put in this ballot box. So I want to assure the people that the system we have introduced, we are now training our people who are going to use it, is going to stamp out all those things. If you try to come to vote the second time, the kid will say, but you have already voted. It's just already voted. If I come with Daniel Mugoya's voter allocation slip, which I got through whatever, national ID, because these IDs also have a barcode, not so?
Yeah, of course.
So, if I come with Mugoya's national ID and I hand it to the operator, he scans it on the machine. Yes, the machine will accept the national ID if Mugoya is a registered voter at this polling station. Your particulars will come on the screen. Then the operator will tell you, okay, so you are Mugoya. Now, can you put your thumb on the machine so that you are confirmed? You have the card of Mugoya, Amubiyabakama, with Mugoya's card of voter allocation slip. It has confirmed, yes, this is Mugoya. Now they say, Ekinkumu. It will not accept me. Why? The thumbprint is not of Mugoya. So it will say, thumbprint and particulars or names do not match. So you shall say, sorry, you have a wrong voter allocation slip, you go away. If, as I said, if you bring the voter allocation slip of your dead mother or father of 2021 or something like, or national ID of your dead relative. You come to the polling station and they swap it. The kit identifies it or recognizes it. Then you say, okay, put the thumbprint. Say they do not match. Therefore, the system we have introduced is to address all those concerns. What HE was saying.
Do you debunk what the HE's quote?
Or which one? Because you see, I can't deny or confirm, because as I said, for me has his own sources of information, which I'm not privy to.
Okay, talking about the biometric verification system, what explains the addition of 15,000 polling?
Very good. Thank you for that question. Now, you see, we have said for every voter to be given a ballot paper, he or she must first be biometrically identified. Either fingerprint, or if it refuses, the face. We realize this process, and then we have to scan the ballot paper. We realize this might take some bit of time. Now, if we are to retain the numbers we've been having, especially in the urban centers like Kampala, a polling station has a minimum of 1,200 voters. So we realized if we are going to retain this high number of voters, then even if the kit was take 1 minute per voter, or 1 minute per voter, since the voting starts from 7 to 10 p.m. to 4 p.m., that is 9 hours. 9 times 60, which are minutes in an hour, is 500. So in other words, the kit will only handle 540 voters. They say balance. So we said, it means therefore, if we keep these high numbers, then voting can go on until night time. And in Uganda, what we want to avoid? Voting at night. Because even there, even frogs might vote if you are not careful. So we said, now, let us reduce the number of voters per polling station, so that this system can work appropriately to achieve the desired goals or objectives. So that's why we reduced 600. Now, it meant, therefore, all those polling stations which had big numbers, we had to split them. That explains why now we have additional 15,000 or plus polling stations because of the splits in the polling stations.
Have you trained enough manpower?
Oh yes, we are going to, training is ongoing. We have recruited the officials who are going to operate these machines at the polling stations, the operators, 50,000, because every polling station must have a BVVK operator, every polling station.
Okay.
Now, so we are in the process of training them. Yeah.
What happens if in a certain polling station, a biometric verification system fails to work?
First of all, to guard against that kind of scenario, we are deploying 2 kits per polling station, because we also recognize one kit might malfunction or develop challenges and not work. So we are deploying a standby kit, the same kit, also brand new, fully charged, the battery is fully charged and so on. If this one, so we don't anticipate both kits to break down at the same time. But if but also if that were to happen, we have what we call our teams of troubleshooters, technical people who will be deployed in a certain area, who can be called upon to come and fix these kits, so that voting continues using the same methodology.
Okay. We are coming to the end of this conversation. It has been interesting, of course. I will borrow one of the statements by the previous Electoral Commission chairperson, and that is Dr. Badru Chigundu, who said there is no school in Uganda which teaches electoral management.
Absolutely. It's not there. It's not there. And indeed, whoever joins the Electoral Commission does not join on the ground that he has a degree or a diploma in elections management. Not at all. You learn on the job. I also learned on the job.
That is quite interesting.
Yes.
Justice Simon Byabakama, as we end this, we shall just need a peace message from you.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, dear viewers, fellow Ugandans and citizens of this beautiful country. As we all know, we are now heading to Christmas, much as we are in the midst of conducting our electoral activities. But we should remember the birth of Christ, those of us who believe in Jesus Christ. He came to save the world, he came to save us from our sins, and most importantly, he's referred to as the Prince of Peace. So as we celebrate Christmas and also head to our elections, let each one of us be a messenger, a promoter, a protector of peace. That's the whole essence of Christmas. The Prince of Peace came into the world to bring peace, reconciliation between God and man, and man and man. Therefore, let us strive to protect, to promote, preserve the peace that we are enjoying as a country. The country where we have about 2 million citizens from other countries who have sought refuge here because there's no peace in their countries. Surely there's nothing as cherishable, nothing as valuable as peace. When you see a man or a woman, people who are well-to-do in their own countries, who are established, who had careers, running away, leaving everything, they come to Uganda where there is peace. Therefore, Ugandans, let us all be united around the issue of peace. We may disagree, we may have different political inclinations, cultural, religious backgrounds or beliefs, but the issue of peace is an all-encompassing uniting factor. So, as we head for Christmas, as we head to voting, let us all ensure that the peace we have is not jeopardized or put in disarray. I thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you very much. That has been Justice Simon Byabakama. He has been clearing the air. Of course, very many people have been calling out his name. Oh, Justice Simon Byabakama, the police is ferrying supporters of NRM, and while for us, they are hitting us. Oh, Mr. Byabakama, the brutality is enough. People are dead, so you need to stop the elections. He has told you his scope, and he has no that mandate. So what is the scope? What is your scope when it comes to stopping?
Stopping elections? As I said, first of all, when you look at Article 61, Clause 2, dear viewers, the elections we are talking about are spelled out under Article 61, Clause 2. It's the one which says very categorically that the Electoral Commission shall hold general, presidential, parliamentary, and local government elections in the first 30 days of the remaining 122 days to the expiry of the term of government. Okay. It is that article which sets the timeline, period. I can't remove it.
All right, thank you very much. Without we, the people, there is no Uganda.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.